Alright, so we're back for part 5. We're going to configure and present slideshows. What good is a slideshow if you don't present it to people? So that's what we're going to do in this portion of our course. We are going to learn how to create custom slideshows. Let's say I have a 50 slide slideshow. In this one I just happen to have 8, so don't worry, we're kind of keeping the classroom examples simple. But I could have 50 slides, I could have 25 slides, I could have 300 slides, who knows. Let's say I want to create a custom slideshow and only use some of those slides in my slideshow. Maybe I have to condense my presentation from 30 minutes to 10 minutes. I really don't want to go through and copy and paste a whole bunch of slides to a new presentation. I could hide the slides that I don't necessarily need at this point, but I could also make a custom slideshow. To make a custom slideshow, I click on the slideshow tab in my Affluent ribbon, click custom slideshow and custom shows. There's nothing in the list because I haven't made one yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click new, go, and I can select the slides that I want in my presentation. Let's say I just want those 3 slides. Click add. And then once I have the slides in my custom show, I can change them any way I want to, the order of them in any way I want to. I can move that up, move that down. If I put a slide in there that I don't need, I can click the X button to remove it from my custom show. It does not delete the slide from your presentation. It just removes it from your custom show. We can give our custom show a name. Here we go, we can say my custom show. We could put the name of the venue that we're presenting the slideshow at, that type of thing. Click OK. And now I can click on that. I can click show if I want to see this slideshow, run through it, make sure everything's okay. I can copy it. I can remove it from this list. I can edit it. If I click edit, I can change the slide order, the slides that are in my custom show. If I need to create another one, I can click new to create yet another custom slideshow. Click show, and it takes me to the slideshow view where I can actually click through my slideshow, make sure everything's okay. End of slideshow, click to exit. There we go. So that's how we can create custom slideshows. Slideshow options are another important thing that we need to know about. And set up my slideshow. So I click the slideshow tab on the Affluent ribbon, I click set up slideshow, and I can set up my slideshow with the following options. If this is being presented by a speaker, meaning I'm standing in a classroom or on a stage, that type of thing, that would be this option here. Browsed by an individual. Maybe I deploy this as part of my classroom notes on a course that I'm teaching. Maybe I post it to my website so my audience can browse through it at their leisure. Browsed at a kiosk, meaning full screen. And you can change the options on these. They have some preset options for each one of them. For instance, the presented by speaker full screen, there's very little options set for me. If it's browsed by an individual in a window, not that much more. If it's unmanned at a kiosk, my presentation is going to loop continuously until escape. That's kind of grayed out for me. Alright, laser pointer color, show slides. Now the difference between this and a custom show is that if you use this option from one slide to another slide, they have to be continuous slides. Right, so you can't say slide 1, 3, 5 through 7, and then 10. It doesn't work that way. That's why we have custom shows. If I click custom show, there's a list of my custom slideshows down there, the one I currently made. Slideshow all. I'm going to be presented by full speaker. Here we go. So I can either advance slides manually, meaning I have to left click the mouse button to advance the slides from one to another. I can use timings if present. This is okay if you're doing a presentation. I don't think I've ever used this in any manned presentation I've ever done. I've used this at kiosk a couple times because you want the slides to advance at a certain time. You can have narrations that go along with your slides. Slideshow monitor. This is, I only have one monitor on my machine right now, and even if I did have more than one, it wouldn't do us any good for video purposes. But we're going to get into this in a second, what this does in a second. I'm going to click OK. Now what I can do is I can rehearse the timings on my slideshow. So if I click rehearse timings, here we go, and it gives me this little recording box up here that counts up the time per second. So I can talk about this slide. I can go to my next slide. I can talk about this slide. You know, this is item 0. Item 0 is a great item because of this reason, that reason, the other reason. The same with item 1 and item 2. That's just a blank slide I made just to show you how cool the background is of my slideshow. Alright, and so what it's doing is this first box here is the time I'm on this individual slide. The second time box over here is the time of my slideshow overall. Click next. This is the second slide. How do I click that? There we go. I had to remove buttons. I don't want to do that right now. Repeat. Now I don't want to repeat it. I don't want to pause it. Click next. There we go. It's another cool blank slide to show you what the top of my slideshow looks like. That's pretty neat. And I'm going to click next. Why is it not letting me? There we go. Alright, total time for your slideshow was 1 minute 14 seconds. Do you want to save the new time? The new slide timing. Sorry, try to say that 5 times fast. Alright, great. Now, what I can do is when I play my slideshow from the beginning, I'm not going to left click on my mouse. And it should use those timings for this. Let's give it a few seconds and see what it does. There we go. And it's not. This is a mistake a lot of people make when they first start using timings. They just set their timings up, they throw it in their presentation, and away they go. So, record slideshow. Nah, I don't want to do that. Rehearse timings. Set up slideshow. Here we go. Because I left it under manually. There we go. Use timings if present. Now I can click OK. Click from beginning. And now it will use my timings. See, when you go in and change one thing, multiple things may be affected because of it. Alright, this is still the title to my presentation. There we go, and it advances automatically. Alright, I'm going to escape out of this because we've already seen this, these slides before. I'll let it advance one more just to see. There you go, so it is advancing automatically by itself, and this is neat if you are building a PowerPoint presentation for a kiosk machine because you just want it to advance at certain intervals. That type of thing, you can really have a whole bunch of neat fun doing this. Set up show. Alright, yeah, I still got that set up. That's pretty cool. Alright, what's the next thing we need to know? Configure slideshow resolution. Alright, that's not under slideshow, is it? No, it's not. Primary monitor. Oh, actually, yes, it is. I am so sorry. I was thinking of aspect ratio. Anyway, which monitor am I going to show my slideshow on? Because there's all types of different monitors with the advent of widescreen monitors. The aspect ratio is kind of all over the place with those type of things. You can leave it at automatic and that'll work for you maybe 90-95% of the time. If you click this, you click primary monitor, you can actually pick the resolution that you want to use for your monitor. Sometimes the resolution between your laptop and a projector will be different. So you can customize this to whatever your needs might be. Maybe the place you're presenting at doesn't have the latest and greatest equipment, and maybe your laptop is the latest and greatest equipment. Alright, so we just want to make sure that we can bring ourselves down to the lowest common denominator, if you want to put it that way. I'm going to click use current resolution. Okay. Actually, what happens if I did that? Let's see. If I set it up to 640 by 480 and then I play my slideshow, what happens? Okay, so it just messes with the resolution like it's supposed to. Set up a slideshow. I'm going to kick that back to automatic. There we go. Presenter view. This is one of the coolest features ever that they've put into PowerPoint. Okay, if I want to use presenter view, the whole concept behind presenter view is I can be at my monitor here and I can have my laptop hooked up to a projector or a bigger monitor or something like that, and I can see PowerPoint in a certain view while my presentation is being displayed full screen on the monitor or projector or something like that behind me. Alright, and you'll see what this does in a minute. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click slideshow, the slideshow tab. I'm going to check the box that says use presenter view. And I'm going to say from the beginning. Okay. And if you only have one monitor, which we have for video purposes, and you want to see what presenter view looks like, you can right click anywhere in your slideshow when it's running and click show presenter view. What happened to my mouse pointer? There we go. And this is what presenter view looks like. This is what I would see on my monitor. I could see my notes. I could advance my slides. There we go. So I can have my notes right here. I see this slide. More importantly, and what I think the really coolest feature is of all this, is it lets me see the next slide in my slideshow. Of course, I'm using my timings here. I'm going to pause that for a brief second. It lets me see the next slide so I can lead into the next slide without having to shuffle papers or anything like that up at the podium. If I want to see all the slides in my slideshow, I can just click that. Let me see, can I move them around like I can in slides? Nope, I sure can't move anything around. This is just presenter view. If I want to jump to a quick slide or go back to a quick slide, there we go. This is really neat. If I need to black out the slideshow for a second, I can. I got more options here. Hide presenter view. I can zoom in into the slide right there so I can kind of see what the heck's going on. Really neat item. I'm really happy they added this. Display settings. I can swap the monitors. I can duplicate the slideshow on both my monitor and the monitor behind me. I can show the taskbar in Windows, and I can get in and do various things. Maybe I need to open up a Word document or something like that for my presentation. I can do that. And I can end the slideshow from here with a mere click. Alright, presenter view. Just the neatest thing I think they've added in PowerPoint in a good long time. If I want to view my slideshow from the beginning, why is my mouse pointer? There we go. My mouse is just fighting me today for some reason. Not sure why. So, if I want to navigate within my slideshow, so my slideshow is already running, and I want to navigate within my slideshow. As you've all probably figured out by now, a simple left click takes me to the next slide. If I right click while my slideshow is running, I get a menu of options. I can click and go to the next slide. I can right click and then left click on previous to go to the previous slide. Generally, just if you don't know, when somebody says click, they mean left click. If they want you to right click, they will explicitly say right click, and that's the nomenclature we're going to use in this series. If I right click again, I can go to a certain slide. I can start up a custom show. I can see all my slides, last view, previous. I can change the screen to a black screen, a white screen. I can show the taskbar. I can show presenter view from here, which we've already showed you. I can see all slides. Go. Maybe I want to go to that one. There we go. In previous versions of PowerPoint, they had go to slide and it gives you your slides. Well, that really doesn't help you at all anyway, because PowerPoint is such a visual program that they added this option to see all the slides. So you can see one, maybe you're looking for a certain particular picture or something like that. Yeah, I don't want to end my slideshow here. I'm going to go to Setup Slideshow and change that to manual because my timings are running from beginning. There we go. Now, that's how I can navigate within my slideshow. Also, what I can do within my slideshow is I can annotate certain things in my slideshow. I have an option group called Pointer Options, and that gives me a laser pointer, a pen, a highlighter, ink color, that type of thing. So if I want to highlight a certain item, I click highlighter, and using your mouse is a bit clunky with this. You're probably not going to get a good result on this. You can right click, you can pointer options, ink color eraser, arrow options. Let me see, ink color right here. I want to highlight in green for whatever reason. I can change the color of it right from here. With the advent of tablet technology, this has actually become a little more easier for non-dexterous people such as myself. This is going to look like a 3-year-old colored it, but you get the general idea. I can go to pointer options, I can pen, and I can write something on here. Again, with tablet technology, this has become a little bit better. It looks a little more fluent. I can circle certain things. Well, that might not be a circle, but whatever. I can go to my laser pointer, and I can just point out certain things. You know, I can't mark on the slides with this. This is just a laser pointer, like I'm sure a lot of you have seen in class, in classes you've taken in the past. Eraser. I can erase certain things in my PowerPoint presentation. If I right click on that, or excuse me, if I left click on it, I can delete things one at a time. If I want to erase everything on the slide, get the slide back to the way it was before, I can go to pointer options, and I can click erase all ink on slide. Pointer options, arrow options. I want it to be automatic. There we go. And to get back to my pointer, I just go to arrow options, make it automatic. Alright, so that's it for lesson 5. Right? We learned how to do custom slideshows. We learned how to configure slideshow options. We rehearse timings within our slideshows, so if it's an unmanned presentation, the slides will advance without user interaction. We configured slideshow resolution for use on smaller monitors. Maybe the resolution between your laptop or your computer and what you're displaying your presentation on isn't exactly right with each other, so we can change it. We use presenter view, so I could see my PowerPoint presentation on one display, and I can navigate through my presentation at another. Navigating within slideshows, go to the next slide, go to the previous slide, go to a certain slide, and we learned how to annotate slideshows. Thank you for watching my videos. I hope you're learning a lot.